Ah. Hmm. You hear me? You know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you feel me? Y'all don't know nothing about that old Drew Down. Y'all don't know nothing about that Drew Down. Can you feel me? Can you feel me? Can you feel me? How you open this shit? Yeah. Good morning. What we talking about? Oh man, whatever. I just came from the shop getting my locks retwisted. You know what I mean? At that early morning appointment, and it's right around the corner, literally from the yard. And I had ordered some little goodies, man. Some little goodies. I said I'll just bring them up here since I'm up this way. This is the time. I come on this side of town every Sunday to see my mom anyway. Get my hair twisted. So figure I'll stop up here at the Yizard. It's getting real wild out here in these Chi-Town streets, man. They got gates up, man. I gotta go through security checkpoint to get to the crib. They having a goddamn something right next door to me tomorrow. They talking about, hey, this shit crazy. And guess what? They still out here shooting people with all your favorite presidents and delegates and senators and politicians. Hey man, still getting clapped. There's two people that got shot like right on like 18th and shit, not really far. 18th and right by Twisted what's that Twisted Cantina right there on Loomis and 18th, Loomis and Blue Island, Loomis and 18th. What's good? What's good? Shout out to Transportation Boys. Shout out to Five Star Tyrant. What's going on? Chris Cruz. Keep Monte Burnett. What up? Don Beasy. Have you ever thought about ATV rental business? Nope. I'm in Chicago. I think the ATV rental business would probably work well in maybe a rural area with like off road, like a lot of off road area. But I'm in the city, so not something that not something that I've thought about doing, you know. So Mark, did you see the Anton Daniels video where the girl was crying because the migrants took over a food truck? I saw it pop up in my algorithm, but I didn't catch it. I saw it pop up in my algorithm, I didn't catch it. But yeah, I need to go watch that. Was that here in Chicago? Hey man, the migrants, listen, the migrants, they feeling froggy. Listen, I wish one of them migrants would run up on me. I got something for their ass. Run your ass up on me with a machete. I'll light your mother. Listen, let one of the migrants run up on me and mine. Let one of the migrants run up on me and mine. Damn it. I'm gonna light they mother. I'm gonna light their ass up. Was that here in Chicago though? Probably was here in Chicago. It was either here, it was in, or it was in New York. Rural areas are 30 minutes away. Yeah, ATV rental business not something I've ever thought of. The only rental business that has ever crossed my mind was maybe truck rental. And obviously I had my experience doing that as a U-Haul dealer, which got that thought out of my head real quick. No, 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 not something I wouldn't even consider truck rental. The experiences I got renting U-Haul trucks, man. So to imagine having to deal with some of the stuff, people going to steal your trucks, all type of shit. I've dealt with all type of shit dealing with just the U-Haul, stolen trucks, one local trucks renting, taken out of market one way because they didn't want to pay the one way cost, so they acted like they was renting it a local rental and it was supposed to be returned. Next thing you know, the truck land in Atlanta or some shit. Then you got to go retrieve it. I've had to go retrieve trucks that were assigned to my dealership, but I wouldn't go retrieve the trucks that landed far. So I remember going up to I remember going down to Moline, Illinois to recover one of my trucks. I went up. I sent somebody up to Wisconsin to cover a truck. Um, yeah, it's not something I would invest in. Uh, so you be the only one in town? Well, if you see a void in the market, go for it. One of the main things I tell people when you start a business, see if it's a void, or if you start a business that's already, just people are already in it, saturated. See if there's a void. This is how you gain leverage and take over the competition by finding a void. When I started my moving company, I saw a void. I saw that moving companies were all traditional. They all focused on the same thing. My void was I wanted to focus on the smaller jobs, and I marketed my company that way, right? So that was the void that I saw early on, which obviously, in this market now, other people have uh, duplicated that model. I've even given y'all the blueprint on that model, but back in 2010 when I got started, uh, everything was traditional. If you were looking to get a quote for a studio, shit, they was you was gonna pay not the same price because obviously it's not gonna take as long, but the same structure of the cost was the same as if you were getting a quote for a 4-bedroom house. You know what I'm saying? So obviously you pay less because it would take less time, but I was able to market myself and my company in a way that we catered to uh, uh, smaller jobs, like up to 2 bedrooms. So, can you do an updated cargo van business video? Yeah, I've been meaning to do a new cargo van versus box truck business. I think it's time for part three. It's experience based also for both the blacks and the whites. People my age right now go on ATV rides every time they go out of town. Why not have a spot at your hometown? I hear you. If there's a void in your area for it, then go ahead. Here, I'm in the city, so not something that I've looked into. But maybe if I was in a rural area, that might be something that would tickle my fancy. Shout out to Kevin or Kelvin. I mean, the outdoor adventure business are killing it down here. People love the outdoors. Every time I'm at one, they're packed and reservations are full. Shayla Boo says, "Do you have a CDL?" Nope, I don't have a CDL. On the spot, Live says, "Good morning." Hey, 5 star. Where was that migrant thing at? I'm curious to know. And the lady who had the food truck, was she black? Cause I need to know if it's gonna be a black against migrant thing going on. I need to I need to be on my. I'm already got my head on a swivel. But you know the migrants running around here with the machetes. So we need to know we need to go ahead and just you know she was black. Where was it at? Was it here in Chicago or was it like in New York? It had to either be here in New York. When should you transition from an LLC to an S-Corp? Shit, you want me to really keep it funky with you? Shit, I don't think you should get an LLC to begin with, especially in trucking. Now, you know, I know your favorite content creators on the internet. They like to do those videos where they say start a trucking business in 5 simple steps, and then the shit be popping down, and they do like this, and then you see get an LLC, and then get your DOT and all that goofy shit. That's how you that when people say that shit, that let me know either they new in trucking or they ain't in trucking because or three, they really don't know business. Right? There's no way on God's green earth I would start a trucking business under an LLC. And you know, you know me, I'm the guy that I I don't agree with what a lot of your your PPP content creators that came into this business, the shit that they teach, because a lot of that shit is the reason why it's a lot of people in trouble out here now. All right, trucking is one of the most dangerous. Last I searched, it was one of the most dangerous businesses to enter into in this country. I think it still might be the most dangerous. Why would I get something that is easy to pierce the corporate veil? I know what it's like to be sued owning a trucking company, right? I've I've did a whole episode on the time I got sued. I showed the paperwork, a lot of shit. Of course, we won, right? But it was a lot of resources that went into that, right? I showed everybody listed on the lawsuit. Guess who wasn't listed? Mark. My company, yeah, obviously. The driver of the vehicle of my company truck, yeah, he was listed. The other person in the accident was listed. And the worker who was on the passenger side of one of my company trucks was the person who was the plaintiff. He was the person that was sued. But that corporate veil couldn't get pierced. Oh, did they try to tap into old Marky Mark's assets? Well, of course. Could they? No. Why would I want to start something that's so dangerous? You're gonna have people, if you scare, you're gonna have people driving your trucks, right? You don't know what they doing out there. I mean, you can put cameras in your trucks, but you don't know what they did before they got in the truck. I had a guy tear a whole roof off my truck. And I've told this story plenty of times, but you know we always get new people. The morning he came to work that morning, great driver, probably one of my best three people ever of all time. But that morning before he left out the door to come to work, his wife told him she was filing for divorce. So he came to work discombobulated, turned one block before he normally turns, wasn't paying attention, tore the whole roof off the truck. What if somebody would have got injured? What if the roof would have peeled back and hit the person car behind him? What if one of your drivers is texting and driving? You train people not to do these things, but we have somebody that follows me that owns a moving company, a successful moving company. His driver, and I'm talking about it because he talked about it in our Discord. Last week, rear-ended somebody, and then the person he rear-ended hit the person in front of them, and he's getting sued already. He looked at the cameras in the truck because his trucks have cameras. The guy was texting and driving. Now he's getting sued. Why would you want to set your business up for something that is easy to pierce the corporate veil? So if you got an LLC, I mean, I always tell people go corp, S-Corp. You do what you want, you know what I'm saying? But something that's liability, like there's a lot of liability in it, like this, there's no way I'm setting the trucking company up as an LLC. No way. Converting your LLC to an S-Corp, you saying when should you transition? If that's what you want to do, you can do it whenever. Go talk to your CPA and tell him you want him to start that process for you, him or her to start that process for you. I tell people when you start your business, don't structure it as an LLC, structure it as a corporation from the jump, and then you don't have to worry about transitioning and over. I don't want shit to do with shit. See, the problem is so many people want to say they own some shit. They want to go get their business cards and they want CEO on it. I don't want that shit. Never have. I've always been the president. I'm the president. Yeah, I'm the largest shareholder, but I'm just a glorified, high-paid employee for the corporation. I don't own shit. I just own shares. So if something ever happens, it doesn't. You can try. But I'm just a glorified employee. Man, I've talked to people since I've been on YouTube that's running trucking companies as sole proprietors. Hey, I don't even know how or why, but I didn't even know that was possible. Whatever. We've had them, so they've been up on the channel on the call-in show, so whatever. But to answer that question, I know I was long-winded. You need to do a corporation out the gate. You know, you can transfer over, but for everybody else that's watching that's looking to get in, I would recommend do it out the gate. Listen, that's what I did. That's what if I had to do shit all over again, that's what I would do. You can do what you want to do because I know your favorite content creators, they love shooting them little shorts pointing up at the goddamn sky and the shit pops down and they say start, get your LLC, get your DOT. But man, they don't know business. I've been waiting to debate one of these guys. I've been challenging them for over a year. Won't nobody take the bait, man. But could somebody tag one of your favorite box truck content creators and say Mark want to debate them? Tell them they can name the prices. They don't want to do it for 15,000. Whatever. What we need to come down on the price or something? You want me to come down? I ain't doing it for free because we know we gonna walk away with the win. So it's got to be some type of I have to have some type of incentive. I gotta have some type of incentive. Y'all like, damn, this motherfucker get up Sunday morning talking shit, man. I've been up. I had to go get my locks retwisted this morning. I've been up, man. My appointment was early this morning. I've been up an hour early. You did what I'm saying, man. All right, man. Let me see where I left off at. You said yes, she was black. She was black, not sure which market, but it was like she was selling the business. I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna catch that. Ace.1. Good morning, Mark. Do you know how to enter cargo van business with felonies on the background? Yeah, go structure your business. If you want to buy a cargo van, go buy a cargo van. And the only thing about cargo van is, you can run off the load board and your background ain't gonna bother you. But me, I'm not a fan of running OTR in a cargo van. You know what I'm saying? I know people that do it, and there's people that subscribe to me that do it. that they work hard, they do it successfully, but I'm not a fan of it. You know what I'm saying? Now to do it locally, that may hinder you because you're gonna have to go through 3PLs and stuff, and if they have uh, a protocol in place that prevents you from onboarding with them because they don't want to touch you because you're a felon or within the past 5 or 7 years, or if certain felonies they just don't want to touch at all, then yeah, that may hinder you more so on a local level. OTR, no, not really that much. But it's difficult running OTR in a cargo van. You got very limited capacity. So because of your limited capacity, it's going to limit your income, which means you got to compete harder. So I've had my LLC since 2021. I've got one employee besides me, and I want to be completely legal and organized. You are legal. It's just, and to each his own. But from a person who has been in this business a lot longer than a lot of people that create content, and also as a person who has a degree in business, a bachelor's degree in business, understanding this trucking industry and the liability that's associated with it, especially when you're scaling and you're you have other people driving commercial vehicles out here on the road, right? I want to indemnify myself from any and all liability. I want a shield around me personally, as much as possible. I don't want something that corporate veil can be pierced easily. To me, and this is me, everybody, you can do what you want. To me, an LLC ain't nothing but a glorified sole proprietorship. That's me. You can do what you want to do, you know, you know. But there's no way I'm putting a person or a multitude of people behind a commercial vehicle and I'm just going to entrust that they're going to go out and do the right thing. Nah, no, 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 no. I'm always prepared for the worst. I don't, hope, like I'm always prepared for the worst. Mama always taught me to prepare for the worst. Make sure you covered, right? You don't want to work hard, build up a nice asset portfolio, and one retard goes and does something that's not in his best interest or your best interest, and now ultimately, and they get the right lawyer, they get like a lawyer like Matt Goldberg, whew, and they got all the tricks of the trade, and you a LLC, and what we coming for your business. All right, let's start looking into his personal. Is there a way we can pierce this veil? Can we pierce through it? Oh, he a LLC. Yeah, Mark, that should be simple. That should be simple. Don't worry about it. Give me 20 days. We're gonna see what oh yeah, he got a house. He got this. He got a boat. He got a little Robin Hood account. Hey, let's go ahead and put a lien on that house, pimp. Yeah, put a lien on that. Yeah, Mark, we already did it. We already did it. It's already done. I need my money. I need it all. Let's put liens on everything. God damn it. Favorite content creators on Instagram, they didn't tell you all this, did they? Velocis Logistics said you need to be S-Corp or C-Corp out the gate in trucking. It's too much liability. See what I'm saying? Kimonte, you need to go talk to your CPA if you have a CPA. I'm pretty sure you can. I've never had to uh, transfer any structure of business because out the gate, whatever business I started structured the correct way. I've never had to transfer, re, re restructure, I should say, restructure a business. So you want to talk with your accountant for that. See what's the best mode of getting that done. My goal is to be a W-2 employee moving forward, but I've read that if you're not profitable, not to let what you're taking. I've always been a W-2 employee. I'm not, listen, all that owning shit, like all this shit that you hear on the internet, a lot of these people is fools. They fools. That's why so many people fall victim because they listen to these people that don't know what the hell they talking about, don't know what they doing, and then they get into trouble. Or they get out here listening to all this dumb shit, these 5 simple steps and all this goofball shit, and then they get once they get out here, they don't know what the hell to do. I've always been a W-2, but I've always been a high-paid employee. The president, not the CEO, I'm the president. I'm the largest shareholder. I am a glorified, high-paid employee for the company. And guess what? There's incentives that come home with it. Luxury take-home car. Other incentives that, we talk about from time to time when you're the president of a corporation. But at the end of the day, I'm an employee. Something happens with the company, that's the company. When they get to looking and all that shit, looking to put liens and all that shit, they can't come out the mark. I'm an employee. I'm just here to help meet the needs of the business. I don't own anything. The company is owned by the company. The trucks are owned by the company. Like, y'all listen to me and then y'all come back to me and say, man, Mark, I just bought my truck. I just bought my cargo van. You already know. My next question is, what you buy? Who name? Well, I had to get it under my personal name. Why? I know, Mark. I know you said get it under the business. Why would you structure a business and then go buy your equipment under your personal name? Because the dealership, man, I don't give a fuck what the dealership said. They told you something, go to another dealership. Buy the damn van or the truck under your business and then PG it, personally guarantee it. Well, they said, I don't, well, if they not playing ball, then go somewhere else. Why would I get a commercial vehicle under my personal name so that if something happens or if you scale and then you put somebody in this van or this truck and then they go hit somebody and then the police come and start the report, it's registered to you. I don't like. You always want to be a W-2 employee. Pay your taxes. Work, pay your taxes. Build your business so you don't have to worry about not being profitable. All right, so boom, you start a business, you're an S-Corp. The first year, you operating at a loss. Business takes a loss, right? You are an employee for the business, you're an S-Corp, you're a W-2. If your business takes a loss, your accountant legally, now all the taxes that you paid as an employee, since you're the largest shareholder, all that gets written off. You get that back because you took a loss. A lot of y'all need to go out here and get a CPA. As an individual, the taxes that you pay as a W-2 employee, as the largest shareholder of the corporation, if the business took a loss, the taxes that you paid as an individual, you're going to get all that back. You're going to get a refund on that. What are some reputable sites to obtain a business email? GoDaddy. GoDaddy. Talking right with Ty. Good morning. Good morning. Veloci said he's not even a president. He the regional manager. See, real people who understand business. We don't want to put titles and shit like that on us. We don't want to be the CEO. I ain't never been. You know who told me that? I remember when I was in the office when I was forming my moving company, and we was going through the names, and he was registering it with Illinois Secretary of State. This whole spiel that I'm giving you now is what he gave me then. I was ignorant. I didn't know. He said, you don't never want to be the CEO. Problem is, everybody want to say they own some shit. I really could give a damn if you knew I owned something or not. I showed y'all my fleet. I showed y'all my truck's wrapped with the white man on it. I told you the story of how much I got so much flat. Why you put a white man on your trucks? Go look at the montage when I showed my whole trucking journey. You saw my trucks, you saw my vans, you saw the wraps. You a black man. Why you put a white man? Cause I don't want nobody to know it's a black owned company. I'm trying to get the money, man. You know we got a stigmatism on us as black people. See, y'all worry about what people think and all that shit. I'm trying to get the money, man. People that get it. Everybody else worry about owning, people knowing you own shit. I didn't want nobody to know I own nothing. You think this a white owned company for all I care. I didn't walk around with my shirt didn't say Mark and then my patch over here. Y'all seen my shirt? Well, my shirt said Mark and didn't have another patch that said owner or even president. I'm just Mark. I had ordered all the employees had blue shirts, and then I had all the office staff with white shirts, and then I transitioned out of that. Not everybody wear blue shirts. That's why when you seen the one picture and me and Stack was standing by the van, we both had on blue shirts. But then I showed y'all I had the white shirts. I showed y'all the white shirts. I stopped all that shit because I didn't want to separate people. I didn't want a certain high. The people within the company knew the hierarchy, but I didn't want to create that type of culture. GoDaddy, you can get a email for shit. Like I think the cheapest if you get your website, you can get the email for like I think it's like $1.99 or $2.99 a month. They may give it to you for free. They got like some type of sale going on. Superman Clark Kent said, "You my favorite big dog. I made no other real talk. Appreciate you. Appreciate you." We got any trolls in here yet? Uh-oh, we got one. Hey, trolls, if Pippi get rid of you, I ain't gonna be able to talk about you. But if I catch some of you when I scroll down, I'm in the mood today, trolls. I'm in the mood. All right, I got some time to waste. But Pippi already got rid of Mike Hunt, so I didn't see what he said. People be so desperate to feel important. Definitely, definitely. Especially when you a small entrepreneur. Why you want to put yourself on Front Street like that? Like y'all be all building these websites with your face and shit on it, man. It was a white man on my website for my movie because a white man on there. Y'all seen my montage? I put a white man on the wrapped white man with the dolly. Y'all don't know. A lot of people don't know how to play the game. I remember it was a black guy called. He had, always used us for moving. And then I might have told this story. And then one day, one of the moves we was doing from the crew called me. It was Head that called me. Said, "Man, customer." Well, he called the office. The call got routed to me. My brother was hollering from his office, like, "Man, Head on the phone. He want to talk to you." I said, "For what? They broke something?" First thing when you on a moving company and a crew calls you while they on a move, it's always the first thing you think is something bad happened. They broke something. I'm like, they break something. He said, "Oh no, man, I'm just trying to send it over to you. Just talk to him. I got some others going." I said, "All right, whatever." I pick on like, "What's up?" He said, "Man, customer will talk to you." I'm like, "What? For what? What y'all break?" He said, "It ain't nothing. It ain't bad. Just the customer want to talk to you. You get on the phone. You're a black man. It was a move for people in Chicago. It was a move that was being done in Hyde Park. And it was for a commercial move. This guy owned. It ain't in business no more. He owned. He tried doing a workspace similar to WeWork, like a small workspace in Hyde Park. This was probably maybe 2016 or so. And he was like, "Hi," introduced himself. He's like, "Yeah, man, this is like the third move I've done with your company, and I always thought it was white on." He's like, "Your website is presented a certain type of way. Your trucks are presented." He's like, "I just always thought it was white on." They told me a young black man on it. He said, "I just wanted to call and let you know you get it." I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "You get it." He said, "So many brothers just don't know how to play the game, but I can see you know how to play the game. You get it. Not worried about being seen. I don't care if anybody knows that. Oh, that's Mark. That's Mark up there. He owned that. No." Mm-mm. So you're right. People be so desperate to be important, and that's what people. One of people's main issues be. Nick Gurr said he's the CEO of Get Out the Mud Trucking. I guarantee you, whoever is the head of Get Out the Mud Trucking, they got a business card that definitely say CEO. And right at the end of Get It Out the Mud Trucking, you definitely gonna see LLC. I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet. Pippi says it's even great to let customers think you're an employee. You're absolutely right. I've talked about this before. When I had to get back on the truck during the pandemic, I told my workers, don't let them know that I'm on the truck. Don't let them know that I'm on the truck. Whenever I had to get on the truck, don't let the customer know I'm on the truck. The environment shifts when they know the owner is out here. They looking for anything and everything to find something to come up to get a discount, anything. And then it messes it up for the workers. Right? Right? They tips and all that shit. So it's always good to let the customers never let the customers know that you own. Just think you're an employee. Let them think you're an employee. Let them think you're an employee. Nico says same thing I do. Mark, where did you say you got the logo for the white guy? I'm starting another company in the plumbing industry. So, the company here in Chicago that wraps my vehicles or that wrapped the vehicles when I was building my fleet, um, I gave them the idea. I said what I wanted, um, and they did all the artwork, right? They presented me with some images, and I chose. So where he got the image from was a royalty-free website. That website it still exists. It's called 123rf, I believe .com. But now it costs. Back then when they were just starting it, it was free. You can go in there and get royalty-free images for free. So he plucked it off our 123rf.com. That's how I found about 123rf.com. So he plucked it off there, and you can just go in there and get royalty-free images now. But I think you have to pay for them now. It's not free anymore. So it's a profitable company now. Mark, me and my pops love listening, brother. You be having us rolling, man. I'm glad I can provide a little edutainment for y'all. Chase said, what kind of truck is this? This is a 16-foot GMC 3500 box truck cutaway. My number one expense week to week, labor and fuel. Labor and fuel. Labor is your biggest cost when you're running a fleet. If you are a solo owner operator, then your biggest cost is going to be fuel. When you're running a fleet, it's going to fluctuate between labor and fuel. They kind of. When I used to look at my P&L, they damn near was running neck and neck, labor and fuel. Top of the morning, Kirk. What's going on? Pippi said, don't let them know your spouse's personnel either. Keep it separate. Yep. So, um, yeah, man. I think I'm probably gonna do a live later, man. Something that I need to talk about. I seen something yesterday. Y'all been sending it to me, and I think I need to hold somebody accountable. I think I need to hold somebody accountable. Somebody that's in the space that calls himself a educator. Listen. I might have to hold somebody accountable a little bit later. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it, man. Somebody, I keep getting these DMs, and I saw it. I saw it yesterday. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. But you know, some people will tell people when you speaking to a bunch of people who don't know and they coming to you for information, but they don't know the information that you saying is a bunch of bullshit. They take that shit and run with it. And then I gotta get the calls and be in the Discord, and people want to talk to me privately and get on phone calls crying to me about how they felt taken advantage of because they had spent this money. And they said, man, I wish I would have found your channel first. But YouTube don't really push me like that. So people find other people first, and then they get taken on a doozy. Then they come to me, and then I gotta sit there and hear these sob stories and people crying, and then have to uh, get them a plan to get out of the mess that somebody else put them in with all this misinformation. So I may do that later, man. I got a few more errands to run. Go kick it with my mom for a little bit. Uh, what else? What else we got? Topics. Did I miss anything? Salmon says life is unfair. I've been trying to tell these box trucker guys this for the past few weeks. They think they supposed to get out here and supposed to make a lot of money and don't want to get out here and do what's in their best interest and compete. Man, please. You better get out here and compete. Stop doing dumb shit. I don't feel bad for you. You know why? Because you ain't doing what's in your best interest. You listen to people tell y'all go do all this shit, and then when y'all get out here, y'all see this shit different than what they told you. This shit real out here. It's cats out here like me that really know this shit, that's looking for people like you to take advantage of. Why? Because we got the resources, we got the capital, we understand, we are educated in this business, we got the experience, we got the relationships. We understand that the margins are small. We don't tell our community dumb shit like you can make 70, 80% profit margin and that there's no overhead. We understand the margins are slow. So we do what's in our best interest to win. We understand that this is a small profit margin business from the gate. So we don't go out here and do shit that is gonna make us go to the internet and cry to people we don't know and say shit that don't make sense. Like, man, they need to stop taking cheap freight. We come in the gate understanding this, so we keep our profit low. I'm sitting in a truck. I bought this truck a decade ago. It was 8 years old when I bought it then. It's 19 years old now, and this motherfucker And it's just sitting here. Been sitting here for 2 years. I kept another one that's right there. I'm paying to park them each month. I'm paying for the insurance. And it's been 2 years I've been on YouTube talking shit. Now, if I was to sell this truck to somebody, they would get it at an affordable price, right? They would pay affordable insurance, and because they did things the right way, they'd be able to compete. Why? Because they not gonna be paying the high overhead as somebody that came in, let's say bought a newer truck. And I know I got debated on this a few days ago. And shout out to Midwest. I like Midwest. Not because he's from the crib. I just like the fact that he will accept the challenge. Because all this back and forth is just healthy for the space, regardless of who's right or who's wrong. But we know I'm right though. We know I won. We know I won. But when you look at this shit from an economical standpoint, a person who understands costs coming in is ultimately the person who's going to win. I don't care about the next man's plight and the bad choices and decisions that they made because they entered into a business that they didn't understand. I understand about California and Gavin Newsom, and I've sympathized with the people that's out in California. If Gavin Newsom becomes president, y'all truckers, y'all really finna be fucked. Whew. You better know your cost. Listen, listen, if Kamala, let's say Trump wins this year, right? That's going to give him his second term, which means either Kamala may run in 2028, but from what I understand, they are prepping Gavin Newsom to run. And if he runs, he's going to implement everything he's implementing from a state level, from AB5, right, to, you know, the breaking industries down by sector and raising the minimum wage. He's not even raising he didn't even raise the minimum wage state level. He broke this shit down in the sector. Fast food, $20 an hour. What about the person that's working at the movie theater? Nah, just fast food. That shit don't even make sense. You just are going industry by industry. He doesn't make sense. But I heard they prepping him to be the runner in 2028 for the Democratic Party. I could be wrong. But if Trump wins this year, it's a possibility Gavin Newsom going to be the Democratic candidate in 2028. And if he does, y'all, and see how I'm aware of this. And when I be talking about you need to forecast and know what's coming ahead, you need to know this. You need to be prepared. You think if he implemented this on the state level and he becomes the president in 2028, gets inaugurated January 20th, 2029, he not going to implement this shit on a federal level? You got to be a fool. So you're right. In California, they dealing with Gavin Newsom. So Randall Munson said, wear your auto out for minimum return. Goes back to saying understanding your costs, knowing what you invest in. You listen, here's the thing. People can make all the excuses in the world, but you invested into this industry. So if you did your due diligence, you knew what you were getting into. Truck a workhorse. It's going to run regardless whether you get a new truck, whether you get a pre-driven, lightly new truck, lightly used truck, whether you get an old truck, whether you get an oldest dirt truck, whether you get an in-between truck. I guarantee you one thing for sure, two things for certain, it's going to break down, right? If you really out here working, you know what you're going to be doing, you're going to be running it. Me personally, I'm in a market that I can get trucks repaired. I'm not worried about breakdowns. I'm not worried about any breakdown. Only breakdowns I'm really worried about is powertrain. I've had one powertrain issue in my career, and guess what? It came from the truck that I bought brand new, 80,000 miles. The transmission went out. None of my used trucks never had a powertrain issue, right? And throughout my career, my trucks ran every day until the pandemic. I don't, I don't, I, I, I understand business. I understand business. A lot of people don't understand business. Get into trucking, the margins are small. You have to understand it's coming in. So if you buy something or you come in not understanding that, you go out and you do some dumb shit and you come in with high overhead, you're going to be competing against somebody who has been in for a long time, who understands the business, has the experience, has paid off equipment, has low overhead, and this is going to be your competition. You can't get mad at them because they beating you. That's your personal problem. If I was coming in right now, I'm gonna beat you 40 ways going north. I'm gonna be the guy that you complaining about. You better believe it. And guess what? The whole time you complaining about me, I'm making money. And not only am I making money, I'm making great money. Great money. Not a little, a lot. I made a lot of money because I understand the margins. I had an account where I was making 33%. And that 33% equal to a net of $100 a day per truck. But for that particular account, I was running 9 trucks. So each truck was making $100 a day net, 33%. And I structured it that way. Why? Because I got 9 trucks running this particular account. So that's $900 a day for that one particular account. Yeah, it's 9 trucks, 9 drivers, but it's still $900. I don't care how many trucks. Each truck is bringing me $100 for that particular account. I got IKEA still going on. I got my moving trucks making shit ton of money because there's no middleman. We got all the retail stores we doing, Bye Bye Baby, Cost World Market. We doing installs, which is now NAL. So I'm doing my Best Buy and my Sam's Club. But that particular one account, that shit was netting 4,500 a week. I know how to make a little bit off of each vehicle that's going to compound to a big number at the end of the day. And I'm diversified. See, a lot of y'all don't know about diversification. And I really haven't talked about that because we can't get past this goddamn cheap freight shit that y'all can complain about. Y'all don't want to go do the work. See, my moving company, I'm charging people 100, 200, in the pandemic, $300 an hour. No middleman. The one time my trucking company did run into a issue is when I started cross docking, but I recouped that money, right? But what kept the trucking company afloat was the moving company because that's just a cash flow. Listen, the moving bit. Woo, listen, everybody that finally listens to me and get into the moving business, when I say, man, that moving money different, they say, man, Mark, I should listen. You right, that moving money, it's different. It's different. So when the trucking company did have a rough year in 2017, the moving company just loaned us some money, man. It's all good, man. Why? Because I'm diversified. I got 2 separate companies that are in the same industry. One, yeah, unfortunately, we dealing with middlemen. Even when I was cross docking, I still had to get the freight middle mile to me through a 3PL, which was non-stop. But on my other trucking and business, my moving company, I'm dealing with the customers direct. I'm giving them a cost and they paying it that same day. don't worry about all this stupid shit that these people saying. This is why when I come on live, when I'm at the crib in the studio and I put the link up and I say come on up, why I can stick my chest out because I know what I'm talking about. Yes, I know what I'm talking about because I got the experience. That's not my fault I got in 2010. So why wouldn't I use my experience as leverage to talk my shit on the internet in comparison to my peers in the space? Because I guarantee you, if they had the damn leverage, they would do it. They don't have it and they charging y'all shit for shit that just misinformation. So that's why when I say drop the link, bring your ass on up here, they watching, they won't do it. I'm gonna get up here and talk that shit because I know what I'm talking about. I know cheap freight. This is the industry. Oh well, I'm gonna talk about one guy. I'm gonna go ahead and do it later. I'm gonna do it. This motherfucker talking about regulation and shit. Don't even know. Listen, you can't have it both ways. How you want it? You want to make a lot of money or you want to spend a lot of money in the store? Which would you want? Me personally, I'd rather spend less money in the store. You can't have it both ways, trucker. A lot of people complaining about freight and all this, and they don't even know the fucking what they invested in. They don't even understand how this shit really works. You can't have it both ways. You're going to either get it coming or going. You can't have it both ways. So either you want to make a lot of money on this side, but then have it taken away because you're going to pay for it on this side. Or you want to compete on this side, put yourself in a better position so that you can win, stomp out the little inexperienced and retards that listen to content creators on the internet on the fuck they talking about, and save on this side. You can either compete hard on this side and save on this side, or you can get paid a lot on this side, but then pay a lot more on that side. So you probably like, well, what do you mean by pay more on that side? You're gonna pay it at the register. If you get paid more as a trucker, the cost of the transportation is gonna be baked into what you pay at the register. Fool. That was the point of Jimmy Carter and a lot of these people that's in trucking that's Democrats. I'm Democrat nor Republican. I'm whoever is in the best interest of me. So if the person that's running is in the best interest of me, he a Democrat. I'm a Democrat. If the person that's running that I like is in the best interest of me and he a Republican, I'm a Republican. I'm gonna go either way. I'm going for the best interest of me. But back when Jimmy Carter started deregulating everything in the 70s, y'all was for it. But now y'all complaining. Make this shit make sense. Do you want high prices at the register? Because if that wouldn't have been done, a lot of the shit that you complaining about now at the register, you'd be paying a lot more for it. So that money that you be making over here, you still wouldn't feel it because you paying for fucking shit so much over here. So compete over here, beat out the fucking retards, and reap the benefits because that shit was put in place. You don't want to go do the fucking work. Hey, Jay, bro, I wish I was at home. I'd tell you to drop the link because what you said makes absolutely no sense at all. Nick Gurr says the same thing. That's false, said Jay, bro. Like, what like, you in all you guys in California, go vote. And you guys in California, this shit don't have nothing to do with you. Go vote. Y'all voted Gavin Newsom in. Y'all got to deal with what y'all voted in. Listen, and I can say that because guess what? We voted Brandon Johnson punk ass in. So we got to deal with what we got to deal with here in Chicago. But y'all voted him in out there. Y'all voted him in, so y'all got to deal with that shit. What y'all dealing with in trucking in California doesn't have nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Y'all dealing with a whole different monster in Gavin Newsom. Y'all put him in there. So go complain to him. We put ours, this mog that we got in here in, so we dealing with. That's why you don't hear me complaining about shit. You got to be accountable for your actions. You complain about trucking in California. Y'all got AB5. That's Gavin Newsom. All right. Now, as far as non-regulation and regulation, here's the thing. Without deregulation, if you're in trucking, 9 times out of 10, you wouldn't be in it today. You wouldn't afford, you wouldn't have been able to afford to get into it. All right. Because that happened, that allows you to come into it, right? It creates competition, which ultimately is better for the consumer, right? The price you pay at retail now is nowhere near what it would be if the cost of transportation was higher. And if you think it wouldn't be, you a fucking fool. Why? Because every single thing that you pay for something, whatever you pay for something, everything that it costs to produce it is baked into the price you pay. All the way from the beginning of producing and manufacturing it to the shipping costs. You're paying for all that with a profit on top. So if you think that if trucking, you get paid more as a trucker, that the shit at the register is gonna come down, like you a fool. That shit don't even make sense. How does that make any sense? Listen, if it costs me $1 more to have this shit shipped, guess what? And I have to resell this, it's gonna go up $1. If I can save $1 on it, I can bring the price down $1, and then that savings would be passed along to the consumer. It's just like when people say this shit about renting a truck, you don't have to pay the maintenance. Like, where do y'all, like, y'all need to go take courses in business. I say this shit all the time. Like, what do y'all think business, every single thing that it costs to produce whatever it is, whether it's a good or a service, it's baked into the cost. If I'm a moving company and I'm wrapping people's furniture, I'm paying for shrink wrap, I'm paying for tape. That shit is baked into the cost. That's why I charge a truck fee. You think I'm giving people fucking free shrink wrap and tape just because I'm a nice guy? No, they gotta pay for that shit. It's baked into the cost. We don't say, okay, well, we're charging you this much for truck. We charge a one-time fee, which is called a truck fee, and all the materials that are associated with it are baked into the cost. Listen, this fucking shrink wrap, this is 80 gauge shrink wrap. All right, where I order this shit from is about $70 a case. You get 4 in a case. So that's a little bit less than $20 a roll. One bedroom, one bedroom apartment, a standard one bedroom apartment, you may use half of this or maybe a little bit less than half of this. It may take 2 to 3, about 2 one bedrooms to use a full roll of shrink wrap. But the customer is paying for this tenfold with the $150 truck fee that we're moving them less than 5 miles. They're paying for this, they're paying for the tape, they're paying for the fuel, the little mileage, the reuse of the blankets, and guess what? There's still a profit on top of that. It's baked into the cost. You rent a truck, people say, oh, well, man, so-and-so said if I rent the truck, I ain't got to pay for maintenance. You fool. You are. Maintenance is baked into the cost. The truck is paying for itself. You think Ryder goes out and buys thousands of trucks and they pay for the maintenance? No, you're paying for the maintenance every time you roll. Whatever your mileage is, that's contributing to the maintenance cost. Whatever they charge you a day is contributing to the maintenance cost. It's business. Anybody that doesn't bake in all the costs associated with whatever that good is that they're selling or whatever that service is that they're selling is a fucking fool. And when people come to me and say that shit, oh, well, I ain't got to pay for the maintenance, this is when I hold them accountable. And I make them feel bad. And then they just don't come back no more. I'm not going to sit up here and let you tell me some dumb shit some other motherfucker told you to get you to buy some shit that don't even make sense. Why do you think all these rental truck companies are billion-dollar companies? Because they don't pay for shit you do. Fool. You pay for the truck. You pay for the maintenance. The guy the other day, 100 grand in 2 years renting trucks. He bought that truck twice. He bought that truck twice, and he could have purchased 3 to 4 trucks on his own. How much you think the truck cost? You think a rental truck company is gonna rent you a truck and then when it breaks down, you're paying for it? Where would they make the money at? It's baked into the cost. So why you paying so much, big dog? That's why you paying 1,000 and something a week and 29 cents a mile. Each mile you roll, they already got it calculated. They know when the truck is gonna break down. Why? Because they got the data. They got the data for the freight liners. They got the data for the Hinos, the internationals. These trucks are the same. They're pretty much the same. Yes, there may be certain situations based on user error and how a user that's renting it, if that, but they know people are going to be hard on these trucks. They know that the internationals have this problem every 30,000 miles. They know that the freight liners are going to have this problem every 15,000 miles. They know about the deficit system for this truck versus that truck. So they have smart people that calculate these things to bake this stuff into the cost so they know what the maintenance cost is, what the operational cost is, and what their profit margin is. See, the thing with these billion-dollar companies versus you owner operator, they understand cost. This is why they're billion-dollar companies. And why you have independent owner operators who don't understand cost, who don't understand business, come on the internet and complain about cheap freight. They prey on your ignorance just like if some of your favorite creators do. And then I have to be the person to come here and tell you the harsh truth and you get mad at me. But I'm still holding them accountable because every time I go live, I say, man, go ahead and hit the link. If you got a disagreement or a discrepancy, content creator, hit the link. Because I know what I'm talking about. My chest is out. Anybody that starts a business and if I start a landscaping business, everything is baked into the cost that I'm charging you to cut the yard. From my labor cost down to the fuel. If I got a fucking hot dog stand, everything that I'm charging you with a profit on top is baked in. From it's a reason why when you go to a place they put two slices of tomato. They'll grab a little relish, a spoon of relish, a spoon of whatever. They'll do the ketchup like that, this like that. Depending on where you have, you ask for extra, they sell you 25 cents. Down to the foil or the paper wrapping they wrap it in, down to the paper bag they put it in. All that shit costs. And they know how much it costs, how much it is to produce that hot dog, all the way down to the paper bag they put it in. If they didn't, they'd be losing money because they don't know. So now they're charging you a price and it's costing them more to produce that hot dog than what they selling it to you for. And what is strange to me is how people come and say shit that don't make sense and don't know that. The point of business is to make money, not break even or lose money. Shit is just, what, when y'all be learning, what y'all be reading and listening to and shit, bro. Shit crazy to me, boy. This cats be out here tweaking. You a consumer. You think like that, and you don't know your cost. You thinking like a consumer. You just want to spend. You want to go to the store and spend. Even you start a business, you spending on your business. That means you thinking like a consumer. You're not a business person. If you're spending money, that means you're a consumer. You are a business owner that is a consumer for his own business. You enriching other people ain't making shit. Jabril says, level the things you saying are right. I'm right on a micro and a macro level. On a micro level, I'm right because you have to do what's in your best interest. And what's in your best interest is knowing your cost so you can compete. I'm right on a macro level because I understand the economy. It's certain things that's beyond our control. So you have to do what's in your best interest there so that you can compete. Listen, somebody said they're going to start trying to regulate trucking. Fool, you ain't finna regulate nothing. You ain't got the power, man. You ain't plugged out here politically. That shit was deregulated for a reason. On a macro level, I know that most people coming into this industry from a box truck perspective, are ignorant. And it's been proven time and time again, week after week, when it's on a call-in show, this show, you see people crying on the internet, crying on Facebook groups, crying on Instagram and comments, crying on YouTube, trucking is trash, rates duh, because they don't understand free market, free enterprise. I love it. You know why? Because I know how to capitalize on their ignorance. If they don't want to do what's in their best interest, no problem. You know what? Not everybody can win. So on your way out the door, what assets you got? Because I got cash on hand. You went and bought you a Rolex during the pandemic. I know you ain't got no money, big boy. What you got? The day date or the date just? All right. Listen, I'll give you 5,000 for it. Yeah, I know you spent 10,000 for it. I know it's worth 14 now, but pimp, you are fucking struggling out here in these streets. Let me help infuse you. Let me get that date just off you. Let me get that day date off you. I'm gonna give you a nickel. Family, you can't listen. I know you're gonna take a loss on. You want this nickel or what? You didn't do what was in your best interest. You went out here, you bought some this shit, you don't know what you invested in, and then you didn't take the rest of the money to infuse your business with cash flow. You went out here, get it out the mud truck and LLC, you went and bought you a Rolex. I know you did the PPP and you did some unemployment in a few different states and you ran it up, but then you didn't keep that money to cash flow your business. You didn't do what you went and bought you a Rolex. You went and bought you some Rolexes. You went and bought you them Alexander McQueens that everybody was running around here during the pandemic. You went and bought you a Ferragamo belt. You was in the club every other night standing on couches. Yes, 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 yes. I saw the purge coming through. We get it out the mud truck in LLC. I saw the bottle girls coming through the club. We get out the mud truck in LLC. You did the purge, man. I know what them bottles of 1942 cost, man. About 13, 1400 a bottle, pimping. You did it big. You did it big. But now you out here busted and disgusted and broke. Let me go ahead and help you. I'm gonna infuse you a little bit. I need that. I'm gonna give you 4,000-5,000 for it, pimp. And you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna have to lower that. So I need people to do what's not in their best interest too. If you don't want to do what's in your best interest and you decide to do some dumb shit, that works better for me too because then now all your assets we can buy them for a fraction of the cost. So I know Jabril, you in Cali, but that's y'all choice. Y'all voted Gavin Newsom in. Y'all got to deal with that out there, pimp. I know. I know. Just hope he don't become president in 2028. So Jabril, you want the money or not? Says how they don't matter. English says don't know anything how to start a moving business. You gotta go look at I got videos on how to start a moving business. You gotta go look at that content. Shout out to Fox, appreciate you for subscribing. Real, if you ignorant, then you just gotta listen. But you know, here's the thing. And where I think where we're debating on is you can't have it both ways. My phone finna hold on. I got a few more notches on my phone. You can't have it both ways. You can't win both ways. So you have to choose. Okay, listen, I'm gonna win on this side straight out the gate, but on this side I'm gonna have to go ahead and get my hands dirty. You're not gonna win both ways. And this is what people don't understand. And this is what you have to explain to people who don't understand business and don't understand why things are the way they are. Not everybody is out here complaining. There's people out here winning. People's downfall is someone else's opportunity. And you have to realize that. I realized that very, very early on. So when I say shit like, okay, I'm going to give you the information you need, but if you don't take it and do what's in your best interest, no problem, because it's a place for you too. This allows people who understand this shit to sit around, stockpile cash, so when things do go awry on a macro level, it gives people that are smart money an opportunity to buy assets at a lower cost. So when I started in 2010, I started right when people started to lose their homes. It was a great time to start a moving company. It's unfortunate that people were losing homes, and going back to that time period mentally, and I've told some stories, I was literally moving people out of beautiful homes into storage units. I was moving people out of beautiful condos back into their parents' basement, putting their shit in their parents' garages, and then taking their bed down into the basement. I remember moving a married couple out of their place into the husband's parents' house. And then when things started to turn around, we started moving a bunch of people out of storage and out of their parents' garage and out of their parents' basement. The point that I'm trying to make is during that time period when people were losing their homes, it was a great opportunity. Did I feel bad for them? Yeah. But at the end of the day, listen, I got to get that money. If the market tanks, great. Gives me an opportunity to buy assets at a cheaper cost. That's how I look at it, because once the market goes down, there's nowhere for it to go now but up. So if a person don't want to go out and do what's in their best interest, no problem. Do some dumb shit. It's gonna be somebody there with cash on hand to take your shit. And that's life. It's not fair. But you have to put yourself in a mind frame and keep reminding yourself that it's not fair. No one's gonna come save you. I gave a Walmart analogy yesterday, which was a clip from the live stream I did the other day. Nobody watched it. But if I say, yo, let me show you how I just made 150 with Curry doing less than a mile, you watch that shit. Because all you care about is the money. But you don't care about the information that's gonna help you make the money. All you care about is where the money at. And I get it, but it's a bunch of tools in between that's going to help you get to that point. See, that's the shit that most people miss out on, because that shit is too boring. That smart, educated guy shit. And I just want to know where the money at. Yeah, I can show you where it's at, but guess what? And you can go get it. But if you don't know what it costs you to go get that money, if you don't know what it costs you to go get that money, you're going to end up on my call-in show. It's just like ending up on the therapist's couch and getting held accountable because you didn't watch the shit that mattered before you went and got the money. It's a reason. And I know, man, I know it's hard for people to listen to me because I'm a black guy with dreads, right? That nigga don't know shit. Yeah, all right. A lot of people thought that when I first came on YouTube too. Oh, that nigga don't know shit. Okay. 2 years later, we still talking the same shit, retired, sitting at the crib talking shit, still getting money. Don't go get them old trucks. Don't go get them old trucks, y'all. Go get you a new truck. So you can be just like the rest of these guys out here. Man, cheap freight. Shit. Hey, this is what 19 years old sound like. Sound pretty good to me. And it's just sitting, baby. I got another one over there too. This motherfucker been sitting for 2 years. I just went and got it prepped up about a month ago and just ain't did shit with it. I just like to start just get that feeling of nostalgia and I just start reminiscing of. Yeah, I'm just soaking it all in. All right, think I'm done talking shit. I think I'm done talking shit. I'm gonna go visit my mom. My girl should be getting out of church soon. Yeah, I would. It's a guy in the Discord that purchased an O 01 International. It's running. It's a guy that subscribed to me that purchased an O 02. Is running. Ashley purchased an O 07. She a 27-year-old girl. Her father was in truck and he wouldn't let her go buy a new truck because he understands the margins. She's a girl, a 27-year-old girl that's a subscriber that's always in the Discord. She drives an O 07. So all y'all grown ass men out there, oh man, the truck. Listen, I'm telling you what you need to do to win. I'm telling you why you struggling. Now, and I'm giving you the blueprint. The margins are small. You got to do what's in your best interest. You got to compete. Not only do you got to compete, you got to compete harder. So you have to put yourself in a situation where you can lower your cost. So y'all can listen to whoever y'all want. I mean, that's on y'all, man. Shit. But I'm telling you what I would do. I'm telling you what I did. Y'all go. The content there. I showed y'all my journey. I showed you all my trucks, and all of them was old except for two. Hey, they was 8 years old then. And I did the work that y'all don't want to do. Moving and final mile. Y'all want to make 5 figures a day? Build a fleet, make over $10,000 a day? Go do the work that don't nobody else want to do. Go buy affordable equipment, keep your costs down, and go do the work that don't nobody else want to do. Find a void and attack it. Me coming in, if I had to do shit all over again, I would do it the exact same way. I would delay my gratification. I would not put myself in a trick bag. I would stay at home like I did. And this ain't gonna be everybody's situation. I'm telling you my situation. I'm gonna stay my black ass at home. I'm gonna build my business. I ain't gonna go out. I'm gonna keep the magnums on me. I ain't gonna have no kids because I know it's gonna slow me down. You dig what I'm saying? I'm gonna delay my gratification and I'm gonna run the bag up. I would do the exact same thing today. I'm not gonna go out and do it because I understand. Phone died. My bad. My phone died. Can you hear me? I think y'all can hear me. I want you to tell me what I said wrong. We can talk about it. I agree with that man when he was right. Jabril. See, I'm different from a lot of these other countries. I enjoy a good debate, right? Because this gives me an opportunity to um, exercise my brain. So, um, Kirk said trucks sound healthy. Mark, thank you. All right. Should I answer a few questions? I know I went on a shit talking spree. Yes, Lord. Gig work with box trucker contracts, definitely contracts. Gig work is to supplement something else that's dedicated. I know some people out here that make gig work primary, but a gig is what it is, a gig, right? You can't rely on it, right? You need something that's for sure, right? So you definitely want to get a contract. That all depends, man. That all depends. Teaching 777. Um, the trucks that I still have, they can go up to about 400,000 or 500,000 miles. Some say 300, but I've had trucks in the past that I bought with 180, 190, and I went over 300, and I didn't have no powertrain issues. So take care of your truck gonna take care of you. I tell you that much. Take care of your truck's gonna take care of you, right? And I've been blessed to, you know, build a fleet and know what it's like to have a multitude of different people driving my trucks. And ain't nobody gonna drive your trucks the way you drive, right? You gonna drive your stuff with care because you understand the costs associated with maintenance and maintaining the truck, right? So you ain't gonna harsh brake, you ain't gonna do harsh acceleration and all that. Your drivers are, no matter how much you train them, no matter how much. And I pay a lot of money to have Fleetmatic so that I can get those reports to see the driving reports for the drivers. Harsh braking, harsh accelerating, idling, excessive idling, all that stuff. And no matter how much you talk to them, train them, print those reports, give them a corrective action, they still gonna do it because at the end of the day, it ain't costing them. It's costing you in fuel. It's lowering your MPG. You having to get brake jobs. I had one driver, bro. It's like it just never failed. Every 3 months, I had to get brakes with him. He was just hard on brakes. He was a good guy. I kept him because he showed his ass up to work every day, but he was just hard on the brakes. So What's the best way to build relationship to get these contracts? Apply online and then go into these 3PLs and start talking to these people. Start talking to them. A lot of people don't want to go into these places and open their mouth. Pause. You got to go. Some of these places, they get a flurry of emails and people applying online to onboard every single day. So sometimes when you go up there and you speak to them in person, you can kind of, get that priority. That's how you know it runs good. But got 180,000 miles, it ain't breaking time, no time soon. So yeah, so here's the thing. All of my trucks, when I was building my fleet, the used trucks were somewhere between 150 and 175,000 miles. All right. And I've never had no issues with no trans or no engine. Knock on wood. You know, the new truck I did, 80,000 miles that month, it went out. So obviously the trucks that I was purchasing used were all fleet maintained trucks. I was buying from a dealership that was buying from the budget auction, right? So every single used truck that I bought was a budget fleet ran truck. So budget was maintaining them. And then when I purchased them from the dealer, I maintained them. So you take care of your truck gonna take care of you. A lot of people fear maintenance. Like, dude, you're gonna have to get the truck maintenance. The reason why you scared of maintenance is because you ain't cash flowing. You ain't cash flowing because you don't know your operational costs and you don't know how to make money. I've never been scared of maintenance. It's just something that you gotta do. A truck gonna run. When the shit break down, you gotta go get some brakes. You gotta go get, some front end work done, some tie rods, some hubs. You need to go get some tires, brakes, whatever you gotta do. A starter, whatever, you just gotta do it. That's why you making money. That's why you understand costs. That's why you cash flowing. So when shit happens, you can go ahead and get it fixed. So I don't worry about this shit. That these new guys that are complaining about older trucks and you don't pay the maintenance when you rent a truck and all this shit. That's why y'all in the situation y'all in. Y'all worried about some shit that's gonna happen regardless. See, me, what my main focus is? It's not worried about maintenance and trucks breaking down. We not worried about when that shit needs to happen. We okay. We just get it fixed. Our main concern is getting money. See, y'all worried about all the wrong shit instead of worried about the right shit. See, when you worry about getting the money, you're going to do what's in your best interest. You're going to make sure that you understand what it costs for you to operate. You're going to make sure that your business is cash flow. You're going to make sure that you're paying yourself accordingly, not robbing from the sustainability of the business. Y'all worried about all the little scary shit. Nobody worried about that scary shit. You worried about making this mugger. If you focus on the mugger, then when that little shit happened, listen, we was in a Discord kicking it the other day. Shout out to Big Zo. Big Zo is one of my success stories. Got a lot of success stories, right? But he's one of the success stories that listened to everything I said, watched all my content, went out and bought a cargo van, got a contract with Staples. After his Staples contract ended, at the end of each day, he went and did a move in his cargo van. We kicked it in the Discord. He came into the Discord the other day, and we did a testimonial. Remember how I got on him? He was making the money, $20,000 in the cargo van a month, which is exceptional. You got box truckers that's not making $20,000 a month. Follow my blueprint, he's making $20,000 last year in the cargo van. This year he's making way more than that. Why? Because now he's running the cargo van dedicated, and he's running another truck for moving. So he's following my blueprint. He said, man, Mark, my cargo van had an issue a week or two ago, whatever he was. He said, man, I had to get a bunch of shit done to it, man. It was $8,000 to fix, man. I just went on here and paid the shit. He said that shit so cool and nonchalant, man. It was $8,000, man. I just went on here and paid the shit. He said, man, that was that moving money, man. That moving money different. Hashtag moving money different. See, when you doing what's in your best interest, you doing the work, you making the money, you cash flowing, you understand your costs. When these things arise, it don't matter because you have the money to get it fixed. You don't worry about that type of shit. You just do it. Nobody worries about shit like that, bro. So every day, that's what Stack's job was. He was the fleet manager, so every day he would check, and then the fleetmatics would send a report. So we get the report every day, every 6,500 miles. We get a PM, but Stack's job was to check the fluids and everything every day. He would talk to the drivers, how was every single day, how did the truck drive yesterday, how did it perform, is there anything that needs our direct attention, If the drivers came back early, like if they finished their routes early, then a way we would save money is, since my yard was not far from the Indiana border, about 10-15 minute ride, about 10 minutes, he would take the trucks over to Indiana to fill them up for the next day. So that way we could save that little 50 cents a gallon or whatever it was, and then that would get Stacked a time, some time to drive the truck, to see if it was something that he noticed that maybe the driver didn't notice, and then that would get brought to my attention, and then we would send that truck into the shop to get those issues corrected, and so on. So I had a system in place that we were checking trucks every single day. When you run a fleet, you got to have a fleet supervisor or a fleet manager, you know what I'm saying, to make sure things are going. So even in the busy time of the year, which is spring and summer, because of how the moving picks up, I would go out and rent an extra few trucks and just have them sitting to the side. We wouldn't even use them. I would have them. This is how much cash flow I had, but I understood that, listen, if I didn't go out and rent these trucks and just have them here, once June hits, ain't gonna be no trucks, right? Because you got all the festivals coming to town, you got all these companies that are renting trucks for whatever reason. All these festivals here in Chicago, we got festivals every weekend. And then we get Lollapalooza, and when they come, they rent 30, 40, 50 trucks, right? So no one has any trucks, so I have trucks sitting to the side so that when we did need to send trucks in for PMs, or when trucks did break down, we wouldn't lose money. I'll pay that little $450 a week per truck. That's nothing. We making money hand over fist. That's just a move. And if, business ramped up, or I wanted to take on some excess business at the end of the month, we would just incorporate them into the lineup too. That's why when you drive past like some big companies, you'll see them, they have trucks that just sitting like, damn, do they ever use these trucks? This is why. When you're making so much money, especially in your business, busy season, you don't want any downtime. All right, I'm willing to allot $450 per truck for 3 or 4 trucks just to sit there, because eventually something's going to happen, and I don't want to lose shit. This shit needs to keep rolling. What happens if a truck breaks down, a moving truck breaks down on the 30th, and I know the 31st is a busy moving day? Now I got, let's say that's a 16-footer, right, and that truck got 3 moves. That's a couple $1,000. Plus, it's a dent to my reputation, because now I'm finna leave 3 people high and dry on the last day of the month, which they lease is up. And what's the likelihood that they're gonna be able to find another moving company on the busiest moving day of the month? They not. And I'm not trying to lose that money neither. And I'm not trying to get 3 one-star reviews on Yelp or on Google. So if the truck breaks down at 30, no problem. Hey, Stack, it broke down on 94. I already called CJ. They finna come get it. Take one of them Enterprise trucks that we just got sitting there. Go ahead, back up to it. Make sure you transfer all the equipment off, all the blankets, whatever needs to be on there. If the truck was on the move, which by the grace of God, I only had one time where a truck broke down that was loaded, man, go ahead over there, man. Back the truck up, had them transfer everything from this truck to the truck. CJ and them said they're about 45 minutes to an hour before they come tow it. You gotta have all these things in place. And to be able to do shit like that and understand, you have to have cash flow. You have to plan and prepare ahead for these things. Somebody just DM me. I just seen a notification. They must be watching that live stream I had the other day when we was talking about the uh, cost and gambling, and I was talking about the back rock. The dude was gambling. Somebody just messaged me right now. Watched that video. Said they just lost 25,000 last week playing back rock. So it's a lot of people out here gambling, trucking and stuff, not doing what's in their best interest. What's in your opinion the best way to make money in a cargo van? Local. Find you a dedicated contract and then supplement that after your dedicated contract work is over for the day. So, let me see. I'm sorry, the sun is just gleaming on this thing. Thumbtick and Craigslist and pass out business cards. What are you asking me? First few contracts haven't been messing with me. Watch your videos about MVR. I don't have anyone to sign up for me. Got the truck pending charges fall off in less than a year. Where should I put my energy to increase money over the next year if apps and first few contracts haven't been messing with me? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to do moving or what? Contract with a trucking company. What's the best way to build relationships? I answered that. Answer that. Watch the video. I'm waiting on you to answer that. Be Easy says, love the channel and content, sir. Glad there are people like you that tell it like it is. Appreciate you for watching. Uh, James says, why he keeps two mechanics there, you can call at will. Always got to have a backup. Jay Briv, you talking about where to market your moving company? Definitely Thumbtack. Craigslist is kind of sketchy nowadays. That's how I got started back in the day, because Thumbtack and none of these gig apps existed back in 2010. But I mean, if you are a good, you know, judge of if a person is BSing you or not, then you could still utilize Craigslist. I think Craigslist is a good way for people to start because there's a certain type of consumer that uses Craigslist. This will give you an opportunity to, you know, move furniture that may not be pristine, which will give you, you know, the opportunity to, you know, bump some shit here and there and scratch some shit and probably not get held accountable for it, because this consumer that's looking on Craigslist is looking to save money. They know what they're getting themselves into because they don't want to pay a professional company. So it's a good way to learn how to maneuver things in and out of places and not get held accountable if you do make some mistakes. Do I like gig apps? I think gig apps are good. Depending on the market, you know, they may be better. Some markets are better. I think they're a good way to supplement income if you are in the business and you're looking for extra work. And in some cases, you know, I know people that are running professionally straight off the gig app. So they are. Um, it is something that can be utilized to make money for sure. All right. All right. Any more questions? If I'm gonna turn this truck off, I'll let it run. I'm still letting it run. Shit that I came up here to do. do I see gig apps being profitable for the foreseeable future? You talking about the gig apps, the companies, or people that are doing the actual gig apps? You talking about the actual gig apps being profitable, or people running the gig apps? Yeah, I think they're gonna be profitable. I see Thumbtack is making strides to become profitable. They're not doing any of the work. They don't have any of the liability. You got all the liability. They just the middleman between the service provider and the retailer. So as long as they can find a way to, and we see a lot of these tech companies now are laying a bunch of people off. All right. So as long as they can keep the technology cost at bay and they can lower the labor costs, right? They don't need all the labor that they needed during the early stages of building the infrastructure, right? Yeah. It's just like the same thing with the 3PLs. Why a lot of big box retailers moved away from doing their own deliveries to get away from the liability, put it on the 3PL, and then 3PL put it on the service provider. We just a middleman. So yeah, profitable for the drivers. Yeah, if you know your cost, you know your cost. I see routes on Curry all the time. I don't take them, but the routes that I see, they're profitable. If I were to run one of them, it would be profitable, right? Because I would run it in this truck. The truck is paid for. It's 19 years old. The insurance on these two trucks that I have are not expensive, right? I don't have interstate authority. I have intrastate authority, so it brings the insurance down even more, right? Because I'm in a big market, and I understood that very early on. That's why I dropped my interstate authority for my trucking company, because my trucks never left the state. I'm paying interstate authority for, and that's another thing. Everybody be so gung-ho on this interstate authority, this MC. If you're in your state and you never leave your state and you're making money in your state, drop your MC so your insurance can go down. Just be intrastate. Man, Marco, shit, man, fuck all that. Them guys that got them MCs that run state to state, you make more money than them. If you know what you're doing. If you in a place like Chicago, there's plenty of work here within the state. You don't have to leave out the state. I see it every day, all day. So there's opportunity. I see routes here all the time. $600-700, one man. So now to a person who, like the guy the other day saying he 250 ain't enough for him. Boy, you crazy. Listen, if I was a new owner operator and my cost, after my cost, I could make $250 a day net, and I work 6 days a week, that's good money. I think a lot of people thought that, you know, trucking was going to yield like $1,000 a day. They hear these numbers and they don't understand the cost that's associated. They thought they was going to make $1,000 a day take home, food. I can show you how to make more than $1,000 a day. I have showed you how to do it, but you don't want to do that type of work. You want to sit at home like you retired and make money. Nah, Charlie. You see them? See them grays? When I was 30 and I was getting started, I didn't have them grays. And I wasn't sitting my ass at home either. I was climbing stairs with big ass fucking couches and shit. I didn't get a chance to sit on the couch and make money and do nothing. Even when I scaled and I was in the office, I was still in the office every day dealing with fucking phone calls, dealing with driver issues, dealing with 3PL issues, looking for other resources to bring in more capital to the company. Still not sitting at home. Still had to get up every day and go to work. Just had to go to an office. Wasn't out there in the day-to-day. Guess what? 2020 came, had to get back out on the truck. It took years for me to finally rest and sit here and talk shit like I've been talking for the past 2 years. And every now and then I'll come up here and just sit in the truck and just have that nostalgic feeling, buy shit like this, knowing I ain't gonna never use the shit. Just spend money. Just the shit retired people do. When y'all come to Chicago, y'all hit me up. I take y'all to nice dinners and shit. Content creators call me up. I take them out, party by 1942 and nice dinners and shit. Just shit retired people do. But the fact of the matter is you're gonna have to work and work and work and work and work and work very hard for many years to get to that point. They lied to you when they told you you can build a stream of revenue. Because here's the thing, you're gonna buy the truck, you're not gonna find a driver. I said that to you 2 years ago. Shit, even Kirk told you that. Kirk said, man, nobody finna drive that truck. We told y'all that. We told y'all that on the Wiseman show. But y'all thought because somebody told y'all that y'all could start this stream of revenue, y'all thought it was sweet like that, but it ain't. You dig? It ain't that sweet. It ain't that sweet. You feel me? I hope this is right. I don't know. I think that might be it. Lou Jackson said he need a little more meat on the bone. I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna get out of here. That's great, but I had trucks making $100 a day per truck. See, I look at things different than a lot of these young guys. I look at shit like I explained it yesterday, the Walmart approach. I'm gonna expand. Each truck I had was like a Walmart store. And I'm making a little bit off of each truck a day, which is equaling out to a big number. I'm speaking on the trucking side. The moving side is a different animal. We're not talking about moving. Moving, you're gonna make money if you know what you're doing and you ain't fucking people's shit up. I'm not talking about moving. I'm talking about strictly trucking. A little bit of money off every truck, and at the end of the day, that little bit off of each truck equals out to a big number. So, if you got one truck, you want to make a shit ton of money every day, then fine. Good luck. But there's people that know how to make money, and they know how to compete. They may have better resources and more resources than you, and they're gonna make it tough for the people who just don't understand the business. So it is what it is. To each his own. How do I tap in with the inner circle? I don't necessarily need help, but would like to pick your brain. Join the Discord. We do calls every day. We haven't did one this morning because I've just been kind of running around. I'm waiting on another appointment I gotta go to. That's why I'm wasting time here. Gotta go get my shave up. But yeah, join the Discord. Dennis say he paid $950 a month for commercial insurance. That sounds pretty fair. What type of vehicle you got? It sounds pretty fair to me. Sounds pretty fair to me, sir. For a Sprinter van, it's about fair. I know somebody in Michigan that was paying 1,800, and then I ran them through my broker, and they got them from 1,800 to about 898. So you paying $50 more. So I think that's fair. I think that's fair. All right, y'all. I'm finna get out of here. I got some shit I gotta do. I may jump back on and holler at y'all a little bit later. Damn, really? Oh, okay. I'm still gonna look around. Yeah, look around. But I think that's a good rate. I think that's a good rate. All right, guys. I appreciate you. I may jump back on later. Peace.